You followed the cooking instructions, and you still might be swallowing plastic or fast-acting bacteria. 7 frozen veg brands, 45 states, and recalls most shoppers never heard about. Stay with me. I'll show you the 2 moves that actually protect you at home. The quick sound test that flags hidden plastic, and the batch code habit that saves you from salmonella hiding in ordinary bags. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. Costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now back to the video. What if the safest looking aisle is the one where the fastest hazards hide? You trust those frosty bags because they feel sealed and clean. Budget-wise, they make sense. You can stock up on broccoli, mixed veg, green beans, and stretch them across weeknights without waste. That's the pitch. Frozen equals safe, easy, and predictable. But here's the kicker. The recall trail runs through 7 brand names and lots of ordinary vegetables. Not fancy, not niche, plain staples. The bags look fine. The risks don't. Some lots have pathogens that hit fast. Others carry foreign objects you can't see through frost. You grab dinner, you bring home someone else's mess. Let's start with where it slips in. Upstream, plants run long hours with shared lines. A flume rinse that isn't refreshed often enough. A slicer that loses a guard. Augers that carry bits from one product to the next. Rush matters. Thousands of pounds per hour means less space to slow down and check. When sanitation falls from robust to good enough, things ride along. Dirt in the hinge. Grease near the hopper. A chip in plastic film that flakes into a bin. Then the cold chain gets its say. Temperature abuse is common and silent. A pallet warms in a trailer for an hour, refreezes at the next dock, and still looks frosted when you shop. Those cycles make peas mushy and give bacteria a head start. Your bag looks solid. The damage already happened. The truth is, a freezer is a pause button, not a delete key. Whatever gets in at processing waits for heat and time at your stove. Real-world patterns back it up. Multi-state alerts. Plain packaging you've seen 100 times. Store brands that share the same co-packer, so one plant issue shows up under different labels. The shelf tells you nothing about the line that filled the bag. So you need 2 fast moves that beat home cooking alone. One catches hard plastic before it reaches your plate. The other filters out hot lots before they hit your cart. Freezing preserves quality, not safety. Risk rides from plant to plate unless you cut it off. Now let's talk about the plastic you can't see, but you can sometimes hear. If your frozen broccoli could talk, what would it sound like? Not the soft grind of ice. Think tiny, sharp clicks hiding under the frost. That sound points to plastic. Small pieces sealed in a bag that looks normal and feels fine in your hand. Let's start with what gets into the mix. Plants run hard, and when guards crack or a cover snaps, small bits break loose. Packaging film gets brittle in cold rooms and flakes under tension. Auger blades chip. Tiny parts shed into bins, ride the conveyor, and end up in a sealed pouch that looks perfect on the shelf. From the outside, nothing looks wrong. Inside, you get a surprise you didn't order. The risk is blunt. A fragment can choke you, can crack a tooth. Sharp edges can scrape the mouth or throat. And visual checks often miss it because frost and cut veggies hide odd shapes. You can stare at the bag and still miss the thing that matters. So here's the aisle move that gives you an edge. Hold the sealed bag upright. One short shake. Listen. Ice makes a dull, soft crunch, like sand under rubber. Plastic hits with hard, uneven ticks, sharper, irregular, a little ping that doesn't match the squish of frozen veg. If you hear that, put it back. Try another bag from a different case slot, not the same row. At home, add a second cue. Pour a handful onto a sheet pan and spread it thin. Turn on a flat light. Overhead is best. Plastic throws back a small, hard shine and holds odd angles your eyes can catch when the pieces lie flat. You don't need a microscope. You need a minute and a clean tray. Now, a quick habit that ties into the recall pattern. Watch the batch codes stamped near the seams and the Best Buy windows clustered around late year and early spring runs. Some lots get corrective stickers. Discount chains don't always display them well. If a label looks fixed, slow down and scan. The mini payoff is real. A 5-second shake plus that sheet pan spread will catch many foreign objects before they catch you. Plastic is loud if you listen. Bacteria is quiet and faster. How does a sealed bag make you sick when you cook by the book? The short answer is Salmonella riding in under a layer of frost. It shows up in plain mixes and single veg, the stuff you toss in a skillet without thinking. It hits fast, and it travels wide when one plant slip feeds a long run. Let's start with why I cooked it isn't a shield. Home heat is uneven. A crowded pan steams more than it sears. Microwaves leave cold spots where bugs survive. You pull it hot at the edge and cold in the core. Then there's the quiet backhand. You drain in a colander, set it on the same board you used for raw chicken last night, or toss it with tongs that touch the bag. You think you killed it. You just moved it. Trace the path and the story gets simple. Fields carry birds and soil. Wash water that isn't refreshed spreads a small hit across a big batch. Shared slicers, flumes, and bins move that hit down the line. Once the lot is mixed, distribution throws it across states under different labels. One slip becomes thousands of dinners. What does it feel like? Gut cramps, diarrhea, maybe a fever, often within a day or two. Kids, older adults, and anyone with a weak immune system take the harder blow. Most bounce back. Some don't. That's the risk curve you do not see on the shelf. Now the control you own. Batch code vigilance. Before you buy or thaw, check the lot code and the Best Buy window against current recall lists. You don't need a desk. Snap a photo of the code in the aisle. Use a trusted recall tracker on your phone. Look for shelf tags or small stickers that signal a post-recall fix. If a store skipped the tag, your photo still lets you cross-check at the door or in your car. Value shoppers add a second filter. Deep discount bins and big medleys have more touch points and longer paths from plant to freezer. Slow down. Mixed blends that pass through extra equipment deserve extra scrutiny. The payoff is real. A two-step habit, photo the code, check the list, turns you from a passive buyer into the gatekeeper for your kitchen. You keep the frozen convenience and dodge the hot lot. You know the hazards and the moves. Which 7 brands should you pause on right now? Your freezer audit takes 2 minutes. Open the door and pull the usual suspects to the front. You're looking at mixed medleys, broccoli cuts, and green beans first. Those 3 categories sit at the center of the 7-brand, 45-state mess we've been tracking. They move in volume, they run on shared lines, and they are the ones most likely to show up when things go wrong. Now the split that matters. Some bags are flagged for plastic. Others tie back to pathogens. A smaller slice hides undeclared allergens. The bag can look clean and organic, with leaves and farm art on the front, and still be part of the problem. The label sells a vibe. The code tells the truth. Here's your clean checklist. Scan the brand name. Confirm the product type. Find the Best Buy window. Then hunt the lot or batch code. Late year runs and early spring production are the hot zones to double check. If you don't see a code at first, look near the side seam or the crimped top edge. It's tiny, often ink-jetted, sometimes half on a wrinkle. Read it once, then read it again. Watch for label signals that stores rarely explain. A small corrective sticker near the date line. A faint overprint that looks restamped. Store brand bags that quietly come from the same co-packer as a national name, so a single plant issue wears different outfits on the shelf. The front panel changes. The source doesn't. 2 side notes for the people who need the most caution. Some veg mixes carry milk or soy residue from shared lines, which matters if you have allergies. Green beans have drawn heat for chemical over limits before, so toddlers, pregnant people, and anyone with sensitivities should slow down and check twice. The risk is small, but the cost for the wrong person is high. Shopper triage is simple. If your code lands inside a recall window, do not cook it. Return it or toss it. If you're unsure, call the brand hotline or ask the store desk to verify against current alerts. Snap code photos before you leave the aisle. At home, bag by brand and date, and set a quick reminder to recheck the big recall updates each month. 90 seconds with your freezer saves you a night of symptoms, a chipped tooth, or worse. Now, the 2 habits that matter every single trip. Freezers pause food. They do not sanitize it. The back-of-bag instructions help with doneness, not hidden risks. Your ears and your camera do more. A 5-second shake can flag plastic. A quick photo of the lot code can dodge a hot batch. That is control you own. Do the sound test in the aisle. Make batch code checks a habit before you buy or thaw. Share this with the friend who loves the big value bags and stocks the deep freeze. Stay curious, stay sharp, and keep your kitchen on your terms. Like and subscribe to help us keep the spotlight on the food industry's best-kept secrets.